What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got some more Entitled Parents stories for you, starting with possibly the most stupid one I've ever seen. A brief encounter with a Karen at the IKEA restaurant. So, today my husband took me shopping at IKEA for some random items we needed but were unable to get due to previous public gatherings restrictions. We decided to make a day out of it and grab lunch at the IKEA restaurant while we're at it. Now, for clarification, due to COVID-19, there's certain rules and procedures to be followed in IKEA, meaning that now you stand in queue, first to get your table number, then you move forward to order and go take your designated seat. And one of the servers wheels your food to you. All fine and dandy. We stand in line to get our table number, though the queue is kind of long and we're considering scrapping this idea and just going to eat elsewhere. Right next to the window is a giant menu with items offered in the IKEA restaurant. The usual meatballs, salmon, salads and the like. In front of us stands a Karen with a kid in a stroller, which looked to be around 4 years old. The Karen stares at the menu and looks over at the restaurant employee handing out table numbers. "Do you have any chicken McNuggets?" Silence. The employee is staring at her. We're staring at her. God and evolution are arguing in the background about whose fault this brain fart is, given that they are usually not served here at all and the giant picture menu is quite clear on that subject. Not to mention that McNuggets are kind of a different restaurant chain's gig. The employee replies, No, we don't, I'm sorry." "You don't? What kind of kid-unfriendly restaurant is this? My child doesn't want to eat anything on your menu." "I'm sorry, madam, the menu you see to your left is all that is offered." Karen huffs, grabs the table number and moves forward. The employee glances over at us, gives us a table number and goes, "Oh, pardon me, madam is pregnant, you don't wait. Please just step here to the side and follow my colleague. He'll take you to the register so you can order." Karen's head whips around so fast I thought it might fall off. Her face is a picture of shock at unjust treatment. She glares at my 8-month pregnant belly, then at the employees and screeches, "I have a child as well." The employee, now with another one in tow, stares at her blankly and goes, "Yes, but madam here is pregnant." I can sense him struggling not to say, "Well, you pushed yours out a while ago, didn't you?" As we leave with the other server, I can still hear her in the background, arguing that she has a child, and therefore should be given the same treatment as a pregnant woman, while the IKEA employee is still patiently trying to explain to her that it's company policy that disabled people and pregnant women have the right to cut queue, and unless she or her son is disabled or she herself is pregnant, she can't cut in. 20 minutes later, we're done with our food and we stand up to leave. I spot Karen still in queue, third in line from the register, glaring at us. I resist the urge to wave and just pat my belly happily, then waddle away with my husband. I have no doubts that IKEA is getting a bad review on Yelp or something due to not serving McNuggets and not letting her entitled self cut in line, even though she played the child card fairly early on. Yeah, I mean, it takes a certain level of dumb to think that IKEA, you know, the famous furniture store, also famous for selling Swedish meatballs, also offers McNuggets, you know, McDonald's chicken nuggets to their customers. What? To be fair, you know, I reckon the queues would have been absolutely horrendous. IKEA, first of all, on a weekend during a pandemic, that would have been horrible, but that's no excuse to try and cut in, you know. And also, this woman is pregnant. Let her go through ahead of you. That's obvious. It shouldn't need some company policy for you to allow this woman to go ahead of you, but you know what? Clearly, even with that company policy, this entitled mum is still arguing, so it's there for a reason. Now moving on to our second story of today's video, teaching entitled students twins. Hey guys, I'm back with another story from my journey as a teacher. I had a set of twins in my 4th grade music class. I had never had any twins in my classes before, so I was genuinely excited to teach sisters. But these students during class were awful. They started the year sitting together and making fun of other students during singing or auditions. They called students gross, pigs, obnoxious, ugly, sound like a cow, basically any form of insult you could think of if they didn't like the students. They wouldn't participate, and if a student stood up to them or if I intervened, they got super mad and knocked over chairs. I had to send them out multiple times over the course of the year. I quickly learned that together they were awful, but if I separated them, it lowered the level of bully moments or sent out moments in the class. So the first day I decided to separate them this this happened. I said to the first entitled student, let's call them Jess. Jess, I will pick where you sit today. Why? Well, because I want our class time to go smoothly. We have a lot to get through today. Then Jess's entitled sister spoke up. Let's call her Anna. What's that mean? We do things fine together. I know that you guys like to do things together, but today we're trying something different. Please sit in the seats I picked out for you today. Anna starts mumbling. Mum isn't gonna be happy. She's gonna be mad when she hears this. I just brushed it off as the two of them being mad and grumpy that they had to sit separately. I'd never met either of their parents and only had a connection through their homeroom teacher. She would sometimes deliver news for me to them, but that was about it. It's difficult to have parental connects when you teach an entire school's music program. A few days later, I happened to be done with work for that day and merrily hopped over to a Target. I needed to grab some items for dinner and generally enjoy the dollar section and a Starbucks drink, cause I mean, who doesn't? As I'm walking through the store, I hear something kinda loud behind me. I turn to look, only to find a woman coming straight in my direction with a look of rage. I remember looking in front of me thinking she's going past me, but I realize pretty fast she's coming towards me, so I put the cart between us and back up a bit. Then this woman literally starts yelling at me in the middle of Target, saying, "Who do you think you are? My kids are not trouble, you better fix it now." I literally stood dumbfounded because I didn't know who this woman was and I didn't know who she was talking about. So I took a moment to try to get her info and get her to stop yelling. "I'm sorry, do I know you?" "You had better get to know me. I'm the twins' mum." I see. I am not sure what you're upset about, but if you would like to schedule a meeting, we can. "I am not scheduling a meeting. We're talking now because my poor girls have been devastated in class and you are going to fix it." Devastated? They are sisters and love each other and want to sit together, but you have made that impossible, so now they are heartbroken. She literally said heartbroken, and that's when I knew who she was talking about and who she was. Heartbroken? Mom, I did not separate your girls to make them upset. I did it to stop them from upsetting the class. How so? Your girls are bullies. They make fun of other students and are rude in class. I sat them apart so they will stop feeding into each other's negativity. Normally, I would be more choosy in my wording and probably more professional, but I'm standing in the refried bean section at Target after my normal work hours, being accosted by a mum I have never formally met, who is gathering a bit of an audience. The entitled mum stares with a shocked face at me. They are not bullies, they just need to sit together. I'm sorry you do not like my method for controlling their behavior, but it works better that way. Now, I am late getting home. If you would like to schedule a meeting, feel free to contact the office at the school. I ended up taking my cart to cash out and left the store without my needed items because I wanted to get away from that entitled mum who was still there shopping. I've never had an encounter in a public place before that. The entitled mum never scheduled a meeting. I'm not even sure how she knew me because I had not met her before that encounter. The next few years for the entitled twins were pretty rough. They got suspended a few times for cheating and then also for bullying other students. Their family ended up moving away and they left the district. I believe the new district called for information on the students and their records because apparently they also were having trouble with bullying from them. Well, to be fair to the entitled twins, I mean, it's pretty clear where they get it from. That entitled mum, you know what? I bet I know what she did. I reckon she somehow tracked you down and tracked your location somehow, because otherwise, how would she possibly know, firstly, who you are, what you look like, and secondly, that you were shopping in Target? Like, yeah, I get it. It could have been a coincidence that you both happened to be at Target at once, but then, as you say, how does she know who you are? It's literally impossible, right? That's kind of creepy and kind of weird that she would do that. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that it's not a surprise that her entitled twins act like this when she's doing stuff like this as well. I think the point is that she doesn't realize that she's not done a good job at teaching her kids how to be polite in their lives, and this teacher is doing a way better job. She just can't really handle that. Now moving on to our last story of today's video. Entitled mum doesn't like it when other people wear face coverings. I was shopping for food and other essentials with my fiance yesterday, and we were both wearing masks that I'd made out of some old t-shirts. We noticed that the whole time we were in the store, a woman and her son were not socially distancing at all, and she was actually letting her kid put his fingers in his mouth and pick his nose before and after touching things. They also weren't wearing masks, but I wasn't too bothered about that since it's not mandatory in the UK unless you're using public transport. Personally, I wear one when I'm in a public building because I really don't want to get sick, but I know I can't force other people to wear them too. We got to the frozen food section and it was just us alone in the aisle with this lady and her son. Her kid looked at us and started asking his mother why we were wearing masks. His mother answered very loudly like she was making sure we heard her. "Mummy, why are those people wearing things on their faces?" "What things? Their masks?" "Yeah, why are they wearing those?" "Because they're idiots." "Why are they idiots?" "Because they think breathing air will make them ill." "That's silly." "I know." I looked over at this point and narrowed my eyes. The woman did the same and walked away, dragging her kid behind her by the arm. I honestly don't know why she seemed to take an issue with two strangers choosing to wear masks. It wasn't like I walked over and demanded she and her kid wear them. I don't know, people are weird. Yeah, that is a very strange one. The government in the UK have literally, advised people to wear masks when they go outside, and they've now made it a legal requirement to wear them on public transport, as OP said. I don't know why people would get annoyed at that. And also, it really doesn't affect you as well. Like, if someone else is wearing a mask and you're choosing not to, that's your choice. But why does that mean that you have to get annoyed by them wearing a mask? I just don't get it. Now, today's fan art is sent in by Amy. Now, look at these two. These are pretty sick. I'm not sure which one I prefer. You've got the more normal standard one, and then you've got the Joker version of me. I think they're both pretty cool. Let me know, guys, down below what you think. And also, if you have any fan art of your own that you want to send in, just hit me up on socials, Discord, Twitter, everything like that. It's on screen right now. Come and get involved. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's episode. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, take all your clothes off and run around the street naked. That'll do you fine. Also, if you want to watch more straight away, the playlist is on screen right now, along with some other videos probably, and the subscribe button as well. Don't forget, you actually have to click that. It's now federal law.